that betting show. We got 2 NBA games on the docket and 1 Major League Baseball game. And as we like to say, as I said, watch what you bet. I'm not too sure I want to watch. As a Sixer fan, my exact fears were realized in game 1, where Toronto just ran them off the court from start and were completely the better team. Now trying to reload and get ready for game 2. Raptors favored by 6.5, total of 220, moneyline split plus 224, minus 276. 8 p.m. live from the Scotiabank Center tonight in Toronto. The Sixers are 42-46 on the season. Raptors are 42-44 against the number on the season. And look, from a Sixer fan, if you're looking to bet them, zigzag theory or not, I wasn't impressed with what took place. But then again, if you want to take a little bit of solace, even though it was against lesser competition, the Sixers game 1 to game 2 versus the Brooklyn Nets in round 1, they showed a marked improvement. They really need it here, or somebody's got to contain Kawhi out there, Teddy.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was Kawhi and Siakam who had a ridiculous game 1s with Kawhi, the career playoff best 45 points in that ball game. Ben Simmons, quote, he's a tough player. I mean, he's Kawhi. He's a physical guy, a lot of length. He can shoot the ball, so he's a tough guy to match up on. Brett Brown, incrementally, every year, he just gets more dominant. Nick Nurse, that was, again, a big-time performance at both ends. And I just like the force he's playing with at both ends, but especially when he is getting the ball. He's pushing up the floor, he's punching gaps with force, and he's determined to get spaces. We talked about the Celtics as being undefeated in the postseason. Well, here are the Raptors. Since that game 1 loss, they've won every game, and they've done most of them in fairly dominant fashion. Meanwhile, Philadelphia, they haven't won in Toronto since 2012, 14 consecutive losses on this floor. That's certainly a concern. JJ Redick, interesting quote here that I want to bring up. Quote, I think we saw what we expected. We just have to do a better job of generating good shots. There's got to be a good to great mindset. Just try to make connective plays. I think when we did that, we had good offense. When we didn't look very good. Obviously, there's a reason we shot under 40%. Toronto, 52%, Philly, 39% from the floor. Those are obviously stats that'll need to switch around more than a little bit if the 76ers are going to hang tough with a chance at the outright upset this evening.
Yep, think I need to go to church, Teddy, and light a few candles and say a few rosaries in order to help them out tonight. We'll see what takes place. One of the series, Teddy, obviously it's just getting underway, but I think it's going to fly under the radar here. Blazers and the Nuggets kick off game 1 tonight. Nuggets -4, total of 216, moneyline split plus 155, minus 175. 10:30 tonight, so you get a nice doubleheader action there from the Pepsi Center in Colorado. Portland, 48-39 against the number on the season, 11-17 against the number as a road dog, 6-5 in the month of April against the number. Denver, 45-44 against the number on the season, 33-29 against the number as a favorite.
Yeah, the trends are going to point towards the team that is rested against the team that isn't. In fact, it's a pretty strong trend to the tune of 27-1 against the spread the last 28 tries, when one team's on 1 day's rest and the other team is on 5 days worth of rest. So advantage Portland in that regard. That being said, some of the quotes I'm seeing out of Denver make me seem to think that the Nuggets are comfortable with this matchup and confident about their ability to shut down the Blazers. After all, Denver did win 3 out of the 4 meetings this season, and the only meeting they didn't win was one where they were resting starters in April. Paul Millsap, quote, we're prepared. We've been prepared for them all year. I think we got a pretty good scout on them. Dame's on a tear right now. Try to cut his water off and calm him down is going to be key for us. Obviously, you have Lillard and McCollum, who both had huge series against Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City's not Denver. Torrey Craig, quote, we match up against them well. We always play pretty good against them. They've got 2 really, really good players, so it's going to be tough to slow these guys down. The issue, of course, is that they only have 2 really good players. Nurkic out for the season, and Cantor now is hurting. He suffered a left shoulder separation in the Game 5 win against OKC. He is expected to play, maybe. Quote, I think the Blazers are doing a very good job taking care of it, but obviously, I'm not going to lie. It hurts pretty bad. I'm having a hard time changing my shirt or eating food, so it's a process. We're just taking it day by day, see how he feels. Enes Kanter, in theory, would be an impact player in this series. If he can't play in Game 1, that will hurt Portland's chances significantly.
Taking a look at another baseball game here, Teddy, after that doubleheader in the NBA. We move over to the Red Sox, and it's weird to see. Look, this is a team that's used to having success, 11-17 to open the season. And the one thing you can usually bank on is if you have an ace, a number 1 guy, Cy Young winner, who can be that stopper in your lineup every fifth day, seems to be not working out because Chris Sale, every time on the mound, seems like he is a liability. They can't get out of their own way. As we said, 11-17 on the year. Going to take on the Athletics tonight, Teddy. Total of 7 p.m. on ESPN live from Fenway. Athletics 14-16, a little bit under the number for them as well. But as we said, the Red Sox 11-17. Montes 3.10 ERA versus Rodriguez 5.88. They need a win, Teddy.
So does Oakland. Oakland had a really bad series in Toronto. They got swept by the Blue Jays. In fact, they've lost all 6 meetings this year against the Blue Jays. And here's a quote from Chris Bassett, their starting pitcher yesterday. To be quite honest with you, our energy the whole series was kind of bad. I'm not saying we were negative. We were all kind of sleepwalking a little bit. It happens. Everyone goes through this time. But obviously, we have to snap out of it. We need to pick up the energy a little bit and get back to normal things. Certainly Fenway's a place where you tend to pick up the energy a little bit. Montas is not a guy who I'm afraid to back, even in a ballpark like this. He's coming off a win against Texas, didn't give up a homer the last 2 out. Eduardo Rodriguez is no ace for Boston. He got hit hard in his first 2 starts, been better the last few. But this is a Red Sox team I have a very difficult time laying any price with right now. They're not playing. I want to lay chalk with them baseball. Manager Alex Cora. I mean, it's obvious. We haven't been consistent. If we pitch, we don't hit. We don't hit. You know the phrase, whatever. One thing is going, the other one is not. Defensively, we show flashes, then we don't. We haven't been able to put everything together. Worth noting, Boston's been playing the last couple games without J.D. Martinez. He has back spasms. Don't know yet if he's going to be able to play this evening. But without him, that's another bad, strike for the Red Sox, a team that, hey, I'm not laying with Boston here. If I'm playing this game, it's A's or pass.